Yeah, we're out of New Jersey, New Milford.
Yeah.
So people call up and get a pack of cigarettes.
Haircut this morning. Okay. It lasts about a day, and it'll start getting frizzy again early.
So we're
Hey, how are you, sir?
good to see you again.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. See you, Ron. Man, or shake your hand, but I'll do it again. That's fine. There, good to see you.
How you been doing?
Good.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Dan, good to see you.
Billy, always good to see you.
Mayor, if you want to go ahead and call this meeting to order.
Yeah, let's go ahead and, well, we don't have everybody here, so here comes Ron. We need Doug here.
Doug's coming.
And Martha just got back in town, so she will not be able to make it.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
This is my 5th robocall for the day.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the Mississippi area code or what?
No, this is Erie, Pennsylvania, because I still have a Pennsylvania area code. But I had Roanoke, Virginia earlier, and Dallas, Texas.
So we've got several applicants for the Main Street Advisory Board and Downtown Belmont Development Association, as well as Environmental Sustainability Board. So the list and schedule is on page 3 of your packet, and then the applications I emailed to you yesterday, but they're also printed out for you. So we'll start with Mr. Hayward.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello. How are you doing?
We go ahead and get started then. How's that one last time?
Ask questions.
Ask away. Well, just to recap a little bit, my name's Danny. I've been in Belmont for a couple of years now. Just got appointed last year to the board, so it's a reappointment. First year, I kind of tried to step back more than anything else and just volunteered, got out to as much as I could and kind of took notes versus being a vocal leader and jumping on being a chairman or anything like that. But learned a lot my first year. I look forward to serving again and being a little more active and being more of a leader on the committee.
What are some of the things that you think you might be able to do to help improve the committee?
Yeah, a couple things, more structure to it. Honestly, kind of surprised how meetings were run a little bit. I think we could have some structure to it, some defined goals, and make sure we're hitting those every meeting. And just setting up simple databases of here's the sponsors for the year, here's who contacted people, we're not double dipping. Making some notes like that. I think a lot of stuff can be streamlined as far as the day-to-day operation goes to it. A little more professional business, like we can have coffee and donuts later.
Who was here when you came on? Was Vicky still here?
She was just there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was just curious.
So you feel like you could contribute to the committee in a positive way, how to move forward and make things
I do.
more positive, be like a solution, person who can find solutions to problems rather than problems to problems?
Yeah, so a little bit of history or what I do. I'm a commercial manager at a flour mill, believe it or not. So I buy wheat from farmers and then mill it to flour and then sell it some kind of the beginning to end and decision maker. And I've been president of other boards and I like to get stuff done, bottom line. We can all come together and do it together and come to common consensus, but nothing's going to be unanimous, so they're just going to start making decisions and moving forward. Just some notes I made too, I just kind of highlight and sit around today. One, I even emailed Phil about it. Today's Giving Tuesday. DBDA is a 501c3. How come we're not on social media with a video today asking for money for the yearly budget? I mean, it's simple. If it's a couple $100, our minimum sponsor is $500. That can easily been accomplished today, I think. So I just thought that today wise. I mean, everyone's on Facebook today asking for money. There's no reason why the DBDA is a 501c3 shouldn't be on it. Sponsorships for next year. We kind of already talked about this in the committee before. This year it seemed we had a concert coming up and we're asking for sponsorships. We should be asking for sponsorships and setting up those concerts right now. So that way next year we're not focused on finding sponsors. We should be after Harris Teeter, Walmart, getting all those big guys on right now, getting all the regulars, and then next year, as Ryan said, we're going to be focused on getting those buildings downtown field versus who's going to volunteer at the concert Saturday night. So just kind of change of focus a little bit. We kind of got the concert thing down. I would think we've done hundreds of them. Everyone knows what they're doing, where to be. We got good volunteers for those. Kind of change gears and start filling up these buildings downtown.
do you think you can bring this vocal attitude that I'm seeing here more to the meetings? 'Cause I haven't noticed it there yet. I know you're just getting familiar with it. So.
Yeah, part of the reason why I just wanted to, year one, I mean, I've been through a lot of leadership training, and you're not gonna make a change right away, so part of year one, I just wanted to sit back and see how everyone worked, how everyone interacted versus being the guy that jumps up and being vocal and kind of rubs people the wrong way. Kind of like to sit back for at least a year and see if I'm gonna say something, how I can react, and what conversations I need to have one-on-one before meetings versus coming in and blindsiding somebody, so.
Yeah, all right.
That's kind of my thought this year was sit back, see how everything works, get my feet wet, and then year two, let's get running, so.
So you see yourself as a consensus builder?
As much as possible, yeah, but the old 80-20 rule, not everyone's gonna agree, so.
Well, that's the point. That's the point of a consensus, is to
Yeah.
come out with a,
Not unanimous, but consensus.
right.
What's interesting, what you're talking about, the sponsorship, because how are your finances on the board? I mean, do you guys feel like you have enough for the sponsorships coming in? Are you pursuing them? Are you having enough money to do the things that you want to do?
I think we have the money to do the things we want to do, but the problem is it's only focus. It seems like every meeting, there's two things that always come up, it's sponsorships and volunteers. So there's a way to streamline both of those with, I mean, there's an online of every business in Gaston County. Let's make a list, let's get everyone's input, who has a contact where, it could be you guys that have a contact, could be anybody on the board, and say, who's the first contact, who's the second, if there's new ones we haven't approached yet, who's in charge?
We started to shift in that way a little bit, didn't we? Like, weren't they starting to do packages for all the events
Right.
going forward, or
Or even
with the
those
party
packages,
part?
so you could have took it to the restaurant, and I could have been there a couple days later, handing them the same packet.
Yeah,
That's why
just-
we done, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So do you feel like the board hasn't functioned in a very effective, efficient way?
I feel like it could have done better, yeah, but I think it's transition too, you had Vicky leave, Bill came on midway, Shelley was kind of in charge, so when it was there, yeah, I mean, it functioned, we had great success, but just, we can always do better, right? So, always pushing the limit.
See, just so I'll know, I mean, do you guys set a target number? You identify what you want to do at the beginning of the year and say, okay, this is our goal, we need to try to reach this in fundraising or whatever?
I'm probably not
Try to reach that
person
goal?
to ask on the board, because I came on, I believe, after all that was already established, all those annual meetings already happened, and then I came on, 10 months ago, so I haven't had a full year under my belt yet to see how that vision goes, but looking forward to those annual meetings and setting targets for 2019.
It wasn't necessarily the vision of the Main Street Board to take over the Friday Night Live series. That was the vision of City Council,
Yeah.
who then in turn handed the fundraising to a bunch of volunteers on the Main Street Board who were
That's
happy to try and,
success, yeah.
they were trying to help and assist halfway through on all this stuff, but I mean, it wasn't really, like when we interview people here, we're not asking them if they're prepared to go solicit people for thousands of dollars for Friday Night Live. So we're
Yeah.
trying to figure that out, I think would be, because even this conversation is a little bit new for this interviewing process, talking about sponsorship specifically, because that hasn't historically been any initiative of the Main Street Board, and it doesn't fall within the 4 pillars of the Main Street Board either, but it's going to have to, it sounds
No,
like.
they took that on, I didn't know that. I mean, that's, for what we did fundraising wise, then yeah, it was a great success.
Yeah, I mean,
Seriously, it was people asking everyone they knew, and every meeting was fundraising, streamline it.
So as far as being on the board and your observation of the board, you feel like that you could help move forward in a positive way, not necessarily knowing all the answers, but being part of the solutions?
Correct. I'm not getting all the answers. I've been in Belmont for 2 years. I don't know all the key players yet, met them, sat down one-on-one, but I know everyone on that board knows them. So, probably kind of part of my role that I see, or what I do best at is not being the expert on it, but getting the best at everybody else. So, kind of pushing those people to their abilities and using their talents. That's find everyone's strength and utilize it.
Where did you move here from, Danny?
Iowa.
Iowa.
I saw someone's Iowa car out there. I'm curious whose it is. Got the license plate, got the seat cover and everything else. That's a rare find.
Right. You a Hawkeye fan?
I am.
I figured you would be.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody have any other questions for Dan? All right.
Sounds good.
We appreciate
you.
your
Thank you.
service.
Nice time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
Appreciate it.
I can see it.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks,
guys.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Hey, Phil.
Sister Nancy? They changed their last name?
Yeah, really.
Nancy.
Greetings.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, how are y'all doing?
We are good.
Hey,
A bit
sister.
of a frog in my throat, so you'll excuse the, maybe, issue with, volume.
Yeah. Well, glad you're willing to serve again, Sister Nancy. Tell us a little bit about why you want to re-up.
Well, I think I really finally, I've only been with it a year, and I think I finally got to know what's happening and how things work, working with the city. So I think now that I have some experience, I think I can offer more of what I do and know.
Okay.
Tell me about this past year, the learnings, what
Well, it's just,
what you're gonna be able to apply in next year.
well, I think learning how the city processes things has been a learning curve for me, which is kind of different from where I'm used to working.
Yeah.
And also, it's, what are the parameters? What can we do, what can't we do, and what's the process for approval versus what can the committee itself do, independent somewhat of the city, not necessarily totally, but what are some issues that we can deal with that is independent of the city? As I said, still connected to the city, but somewhat independent.
What do you view as one of the great accomplishments for this year?
Oh, gosh, I think we brought back the Friday Night Live. I think we had a great concert series throughout the fall. And I think there's been more awareness of what is happening in downtown Belmont. Where I think where we need to kind of look at are some of the empty buildings that are now on Main Street, and businesses that aren't thriving, and how either can we help them, or if they're leaving, how can we replace them, and look at what's might be missing on Main Street and in downtown.
Okay. Do you view that this committee can actively, like, solicit potential businesses to fill those vacant
I
spots?
think in combination with the chamber, yes. I think if, you have to work in partnerships with other community groups
Yep.
in order to promote Belmont as a whole.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you find you all work with the chamber and other outlets? You find your relationships are good, you maintain them?
I do. I think that they're very good, and I think that they will continue to grow, and I think and cement further as we move forward.
Ronnie, got any questions for Sister Nancy?
No, I've seen her work.
I don't have any more.
And we've changed your name to Nancy apparently.
Oh, okay. I myself when I'm in a hurry.
That's it.
I think that's
Thank
pretty
you.
well done.
Appreciate you
Sister
coming.
Nancy, you knew the annex, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, Ed's funeral's going to be January 4th.
Oh, wow. Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, long time after he died.
I was friends with his sister.
He was, I know. Maury or, who's sister, which one?
I was with Rosemary.
Rosemary, yeah, I know Rosemary, yeah. Yeah, that was so tragic, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Was it?
He was up for homecoming, and he was doing fine. And then he had to go back to Florida, and he went back to Florida. He's a former Navy captain. He was over Egyptian Command and everything, too, doctor. And he went back home, got an infection in his legs,
Oh, jeez.
stuff like that. Lasted about a week,
Oh, my.
and then died.
Yowza.
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened. I just
Unbelievable.
read it. When I was home this past weekend in Salisbury, I saw.
Yeah,
And, so that was quite
very tragic.
Very young.
He was a fraternity brother of mine. Good guy,
Yeah.
good guy.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, sister. Appreciate it. They're repeating members of the,
Yeah, they're both on it right now,
yeah.
as is Julie.
All right. Got Miss Julie up next. Bill, how are things going?
Going great. I was trying to write that last little thought down. I guess I'm about
Everybody wants to be on Main
3
Street.
months in now,
Good. I think we got Julie next, I think, right?
We do. I don't think she's here yet.
That's what I was just looking at. So Julie,
Is Gil here by chance?
No, no one else is here yet.
Nancy, and Danny are up for reappointment. And there's 2 of them.
So on the-
Wendy Hofstetler resigned, or,
Yeah.
yeah, and Patricia Farmer. So there's 3 up for reappointment in 2 open positions. So you have a total of 5 people that you can appoint.
Is there 4?
5 on Main Street?
Yeah.
I wasn't including Patricia Farmer because she's just recently,
She just recently.
when we did this, she had not resigned.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have 5 openings.
You have 5 openings, 3 are current.
Are there term limits?
Yeah, so so the 3 reappointments will be for 3-year terms. The other 2 will be continuing, they'll be partial
Yeah,
terms.
Filling out the rest of the
They're finishing
terms.
out 2
Yep.
different terms.
No, Wendy's was
Was
up
hers up?
September 2018, so she
Okay.
just didn't ask for reappointment.
Okay, so that's a 3-year.
So that's a 3-year term. Patricia's, it would be for a year.
A year.
Yeah, because she has 1 year left on her term. And Danny and
They should be for 3 years.
And Sister Nancy was
Sister Nancy was filling,
Jonathan's?
either Jonathan,
Ted?
no, John Church's.
yes, John Church's remainder of his.
So she's
so
eligible to be
She's eligible
reappointed
for
for
2 more
2.
terms.
So we do have a 2-term limit?
No, they're 3-year term limits.
No, but
How many times?
how many times can you be
Oh.
appointed? How many terms can you serve? I'm not aware that we have a limit.
I
on the number of
I
terms.
don't think we have a limit for the Main Street Board. No, it's for the planning board, yeah, there's no
Alright.
term limits.
Alright.
How many on sustainability?
We don't have
There are 3 seats on the environmental sustainability.
the bylaw.
And we have,
We've got 3
luckily
applicants.
enough, we have 3 applicants, okay.
Now Gil has on his, Main Street and Recreation on his.
We do track their terms, though.
We track them, but we don't have, I'm not aware that we've ever created rules to have limits.
It's got to be in the
I think
bylaws.
it's
Those
in the
things were actually
DVDA
done.
bylaws. But we use the DVDA bylaws
So we got 40
for both committees.
or 6
But
other.
we've never adopted Main Street Board bylaws.
There's a total
No,
of 5.
that is
3 of them are asking
just
for
for the
reappointment.
DVDA.
Now, the incumbents, you might know this, okay, that's Danny and Nancy.
Julie selected.
Should be done.
Yeah.
7.
So,
There's Julie, oh, are you talking about
after Julie.
after Julie? 1,
Yeah, there's 6.
Gil,
Okay, just 3
Bill,
incumbents and 5
Champion,
openings,
Marilyn
okay.
Shepherd,
So,
Seth, David, and Dean. So there's 6.
See if Julie's here, it's 20 after.
I'm gonna go finish eating. I'm gonna go finish eating. Is she done? I won't be far. I'll walk right back there.
And this will be very informal, so if you want to get up and grab a bite to eat, we won't have an assigned break.
You need to put a switch in here ready to turn this thing off.
Adrian, when's Cowboys next game?
Thursday night,
Especially when we get inside.
8:20.
What's our record this year?
They're 6-3. No, 6-5, excuse me, 6-5. Yep.
Do I wait?
Dallas Cowboys.
They play the
Cowboys.
Saints.
They play the Saints.
So it'll be 5:30.
6 and 6 then.
Yeah, that'll be a tough game.
The 5:30 kill this year.
Let's wait.
Hey,
Want me to bring
is
it?
this turned
What
off
Patrick
right now?
Pluto last two
No,
games.
we're streaming.
Terrible.
Right up here?
Yeah, it's being streamed.
Hey Gil, how you doing? Good to see you.
You go.
Gil, I'm glad you're here and you're willing to serve on the,
Help however needed.
either
Even when
one.
I still help with the recreation department, they can always
Yeah.
ask questions and stuff.
All right, very good. All right.
So, I don't know, did you fill this out on the application that said Main Street and Recreation?
Wherever you.
Okay, all right. So what would be your ideal?
Either one. I mean, I have the most experience with recreation.
Yeah.
He does, yeah.
I can help out either way.
Former soccer player.
Why are you
Still a soccer
interested?
player. I'm still playing here in Belmont.
Oh, really?
Why,
That's awesome.
Nowhere near as fast as I used to be.
why do you want to serve on the board?
I just like giving back. I mean, now I'm in a position, before with recreation, I was always involved with stuff, and now I'm not quite as involved with recreation. So this is a way I can still be involved. I still coach some and things like that, so.
So what can you bring to the board?
Okay, for the Main Street, I mean, what type of things are you guys looking for a Main Street? I mean, I've got ideas and creativity. I mean, I've worked with recreation here in Belmont. I grew up here in Belmont, so.
What do you think that board does?
You basically want to promote your Main Street area. I think one of your goals is to try to extend Main Street out to the east end.
That is one of
One
them.
I've always gotten from.
And I think we were talking earlier, one of their major accomplishments this year was resurrecting the downtown concerts, and one of the aspects that comes with that is getting sponsors and so forth. Do you have connections inside the corporations and so forth that can be tapped, or? Yeah.
That would probably be my weakness.
Yeah. I didn't know if maybe, through all your dealings, you had built any connections that might be valuable for that effort.
Unfortunately, not
Yeah.
much on that aspect.
Yeah. On the recreation side, what types of things would be of interest to you in serving, what kind of capacity would you want to do there?
Just help build the program.
Yep.
I still get a lot of feedback from citizens and stuff, because a lot of them still know me as the pastor
Yeah.
of the recreation, so they.
You worked with Sally, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, so I can give them perspective on that, help them with different programming, because I try to start as many new programs as I could when I was.
Yeah.
And see where I was trying to get a leg in on all that.
Right.
Do you have a preference of either one, or?
Just as a point of clarification, we don't have an opening on the rec board.
Okay.
I didn't think so, but they were asking me questions, so.
I think your application, you wrote
It said Main Street and
Main Street and
Recreation.
Recreation.
But I had like a thing where, what board would you like to serve on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you've identified two of the challenges that I think that I'm aware of with Main Street is bringing the East End into the Main Street, and also probably fundraising, because I think the city, we have a one-year commitment on Friday Night Live, so sponsorships and bringing people in for that's probably going to be a pretty key component.
Is the Merchants Association still involved with it, or are they no longer?
No, they're non-existent. What do you like about downtown Belmont?
I like the activity now. Growing up here, there was not anything in downtown area. Main Street Station was the first business to open up that was an actual restaurant type bar. It struggled a little bit, and then after it got its footing, it just flourished. And now you hear people talk about it. I see you guys are addressing the park, and that was a huge issue at one time.
Yeah.
And I think as it grows, it's probably going to be more and more of an issue, because the more types of activities you have, because people just love to do stuff. I mean, as you can see, if you go out on any Saturday, you'll see a soccer field out there, plenty of people are out there because they want something to do.
Yeah.
You got to tap into every avenue of it. You have to look at the adult side, the senior side, the kid side. So just make sure you're servicing everything.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I know you work for the ABC board, and I know that alcohol is, a component of our Friday Night Live, and I know the people serving, they have to do some sort of training, I understand. And I think we have to have some sort of insurance. I mean, there's some components that might suit you in what you're doing now, being able to help. Do you think that's an area of expertise that you might be helpful in?
I could. I mean, I don't know as much about that because we don't do any permitting.
Sure.
Usually your resource officer or the person that's attached to the ABC on the police side governs that. They make sure they're obeying all the rules and stuff.
Okay.
Gil, do you have the time to invest in it?
Yes. I actually have more free time now than I ever had. In recreation, I was constantly busy, day and night, on the weekends. So now it's nowhere near as much.
You're still with the ABC board now?
Yes.
Okay. Been with them a pretty good while.
Yeah, I started off in 2007 as finance officer, and they offered me
Wow.
a full-time position with them back in school.
In Gastonia or
Crampton.
Cranberry's in one? Okay. That's where Bob Atterbury's at?
Do I?
I'm seeing Gastonia. Bob Atterbury's in Cranberry's in Gastonia.
I don't think, he used to work for us, but I don't think he's working for any agency.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any other questions for Gil?
No, I don't. Thanks, Gil.
I'll say this, I've known Gil a pretty good while and stuff, and he was a good guy and known him for many, many years, so. Thanks for being willing to serve, Gil.
Yep, thanks, Gil.
Thanks, we'll be in touch.
Nice and quick, like a bitch.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Is Rebecca Carpenter here?
No one's here right now.
Do you want to go back?
I finished,
Oh,
but
did you?
next person that's gone, so I'm getting for seconds. So.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to sit down and start the interview, or else I would have walked back right away. I guess that works. So we're going to have to make a decision on whether we want these folks to be how involved with raising money and sponsorship, because that's a completely different person than what we've originally asked these members to do over
Right.
the years.
I mean, I think you might need to look at it. I mean, with the city's one-year commitment, I mean, that's going to leave some gap funding that y'all are going to have to come up with.
Or they could just stop doing their Friday Night Live.
Well, people
Because
were
it's not their job to do it. It was the city's request that they do it. They never showed up and said, we're going to raise $25,000 a year for this. That was us who told them that we were going to give them the money to do it.
Did they, I think it's, I mean, the genesis was the party in the park. That came up on their own, didn't it? And just kind of morphed into them taking over Friday Night Live since they were doing
That
Party
was
in the Park.
after the Merchants Association decided not to do the Friday Night Live, so there was gonna be nothing. So, in the absence of nothing, they decided, the Main Street Board decided to do the Party in the Park. And then we had all the discussion, and the council asked if they would take on Friday Night Live, and we'll give you $15,000 seed money.
Friday Night Live's a big success.
I mean, what,
Big success.
we need to see the final numbers, but I know Shelley had said that they made a profit of $19,000, so there is some seed money there, I would think.
Yeah, well, that doesn't go far. Yeah, so ultimately, at the end of the concerts, I would say, and again, we're still trying to balance out the final numbers, it probably made a total of about $15,000. Now, remember, that was the same seed money given to, by the city to the board to help them with their insurance and start booking the bands, which we're already starting to do. So that money goes like that. And besides that, we do, there's other things like the Christmas Village, we budget for that. We have general administration costs like doing taxes and books and so forth. So it may sound like a lot of money, but when you're trying to put on a concert series, we, I think, did in total, I want to say we probably, I'll have to ask Bill, but I think we ended up earning, how much did we earn by sponsors, including the city? I'm trying to mention that bottom. Was it like 70,000, 75? Was it that high?
I thought you had
Was
around
that high?
30 total
30.
sponsors, and then you brought in the revenue at the event.
Yeah.
Because I was impressed that you had
probably.
matched the
I
city's
just,
contribution.
yeah, I know we matched the city.
We've looked at a lot of numbers lately.
Yeah, we've been looking at so many numbers, but, sponsorship without any formal process like we spoke about is very difficult in coming up with sponsors.
Are we ready for Rebecca?
Yes.
Yes.
She is.
But
She's for the environmental
restaurants and all the
sustainability
other places that we have generate income from that too.
Yes, yes.
This would be renewal, right? Or new?
New.
Hey, Rebecca, how you doing? Good, good to see you. Are you willing to go ahead and serve on one of our committees here, huh?
Yeah. I'd like to.
You on the Main Street Committee?
Environmental.
Environmental Committee.
Sustainable. Yeah.
Environmental, okay. I didn't look at your thing here. Let me look at that.
So,
Sustainable.
why the interest in that?
Well, I have a personal passion around environmental sustainability. I wouldn't consider myself an expert, but just as an everyday person who wants to do that. I'm a part of Wells Fargo, and they have a green team in the Charlotte area. So I'm on that group, and I run communications for them. And so we do a lot of exciting things. We have a lot of great partnerships with the area. And I think it'd be really great to do more stuff that's local to, where I live and impact our neighbors. So in a nutshell, that's it.
Okay, cool.
So you feel like you have the time to serve?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
When did they meet? Wait.
They meet once a month now, on the
Third Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes, Wednesday.
So through the green team, you're sort of involved in this in some level already?
Right, yeah, so, what we do, obviously, it's a huge company. We try to focus with 25,000 team members in our area. So we look for ways that we can help team members, do better, know better. In the area, there's a lot of things that, you can reach an entire group across the country, but there are some things that are just, you can't, you have to focus to your area, like recycling, solar, like certain things just don't work in some parts of the country versus others. So we try to find the ones that are, really local based and focus on that. And then I'm actually part of the Enterprise Green Team Club, just joined that. And for that, we try to look for like bigger things that everybody can do better and that's consistent across the country. But
Do you think some of the things you're doing on the corporate level can translate, you can maybe tweak those to the city level?
Right, so one of the things that's really exciting is through this organization and my partnership with all of the nonprofits in the Charlotte area, I'm learning a lot about a lot of grassroots efforts that are, a lot of people are starting to connect the dots and, finding like-minded groups. They're all trying to achieve the same thing. And so it'd be really great to see what we've got going on here. I have to admit I'm not an expert on what Belmont's already doing in that area, but I think it'd be really exciting to see what opportunities we have to connect with the larger area and bring some of that momentum across the river. So.
Okay, very good.
You work with Jamie
Emerson.
Emerson.
She work at Wells Fargo?
She's with Wells Fargo, I think.
She's on the green team, maybe, isn't she? Or something? She's the chair of the Environmental Sustainability Board.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She lives here in Belmont, too.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to connect with her.
So you went to Truman State?
Yes, I did.
Where is that at?
It is in Missouri, near Iowa.
Missouri.
the
Harry
Iowa
Truman.
border.
Of course.
You guys keep telling all these Yankees coming down. It's all these Midwesterners.
How about that?
It's two from Iowa area tonight.
How about that, huh?
One from Minnesota.
Hey, we got a guy from Iowa here, Missouri. How about that, huh?
Welcome. How long you been here?
So I moved in 2009.
Okay.
I started in Mount Holly, and then I moved to Charlotte for a few years, and then home here in April.
Good for you.
Good.
That's great. Very good.
Well, welcome to Belmont, and thank you for your interest, and
Yeah.
We'll be in touch.
we'll be in touch, absolutely.
And, the other thing I wanted to mention, and I don't know how valuable this is, but I did want to mention it, is so my degree is in visual communications. I have done graphic design. I've done freelance work there. Right now, I do executive level communications and support. So I have a really solid understanding of when you're working with a large group of people, you have rules and how to communicate and try to reach your base at different levels, because you've got sort of your entry level, and then your enthusiasts, and you've got to kind of reach all those points. So I just wanted to say that that's another thing that I'd be excited to throw my energy and passion at.
Okay,
Very good.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you willing to serve.
One of these days, I'm going to figure out what that board does. And if we keep putting people like her on there, we'll find out.
Always go to the meetings.
Good.
We have 2 open on environmental.
3.
She is our neighbor. I've never seen her. But she was on, did you see she had Keith Mecklenburg?
What's the difference between Keep Belmont Beautiful and the Environmental Sustainability Board?
I can answer that.
You can tell I'm not real afraid to embarrass myself with questions.
The city, since we're Tree City USA, their primary mission is to keep our Tree City USA accreditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to have a tree board. Well, our board started out that way, and then they chose to expand their mission to include other areas besides just tree safety. So, everything from water to just.
They also help
making
plan the Arbor Day celebration, and they coordinate with that. They're helping us.
That's part of the Tree City USA.
I feel like we've been getting some good energy
Yes.
being put on that board the
Yeah,
last
pretty
couple
board, actually.
interviews.
They're helping us come up with a wrap for our mini trash truck that we just bought.
Cool.
And they're gonna do an art project and we're gonna wrap it, so we tasked them with doing that, so.
That's pretty good.
They're very enthusiastic, and there's a couple students on it.
Great idea.
Very good.
Yeah, we
Cool.
have a couple of students that are sharp.
I feel like we've been putting really good people on there the last couple of years.
You bring Phil in.
Yep. Come on in, Bubba. Yeah, either way.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good.
And Phil's applying for the Main Street board.
Good to see you, Phil.
Good to see you,
How's
Ted.
business?
Very good.
Good deal. All right. He's applying for the Main Street Board. Any reason why you want to serve on the Main Street Board?
I actually used to be involved with Main Street programs in a previous job.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed what they did for the community, and they really kind of set a direction for the city, so.
Yeah.
Help out, serve, do whatever I need to do to further the mission, and hopefully be a positive influence on the growth of the city.
What was your level of involvement with the Main Streets?
I was a sales rep, so my customers were cities, towns, all over western North Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. So, we sold lighting, decorative products, all types of things. So, got to know the city managers, Public Works, Main Street, everybody with the town, and really figured out how things worked. You know, if you couldn't find the funds from the city, find somebody in the community that would want to be involved in certain aspects. So, it was a sales role, but I learned a lot about Main Street. I also went to all the Main Street statewide meetings annually for 3 or 4 years.
So if the city couldn't find the money, you said they would find money. Who would go help find the money? Would the city go, or would you also go? And
Also myself, so a lot of times we do presentations to just folks that want to be involved with the city, do duties for the town, make it be a joint between, every city's different. Sometimes it'd be city manager, Main Street, Public Works.
Having a business downtown, and you still doing B&I?
Yep.
You feel like you got a pretty good pulse on the business?
Yeah.
Is in the Main Street district, and what's it like? How are people feeling right now?
I would say for the most part it's positive, especially with my wife having a business here. Her business has been very well received the first couple of months.
That's the interior spot right here in the corner?
Yeah, right down, yeah.
Okay.
So overall positive, positive interaction for, one thing I would like to have more folks on Main Street involved in B&I. That would be, probably half of our group are from outside of here, but we do have a pretty good influence on folks from this area as well.
so what's Main Street needing? Anything in particular that you see?
I think more collaboration between the businesses. More more of a marketing for the downtown district. And, we got a lot of retail and, restaurants, so a couple similar categories that are pretty relevant. Some type of entertainment as well mixed in would be another good business. And I don't know if it's some type of gift certificate marketing or a partnership, would be my recommendation.
Ron?
I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Phil,
Phil.
thanks a lot for being willing to serve. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Good, thank you. And I'm glad your wife's business is doing good too.
Thank you.
She's a delight to have her for.
Oh, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys supporting me.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.
Is Julie or Caroline?
Cromwell's building right here, they did interior designs in the front half of that building.
Home furnishings and.
It is a fun place.
I've been in there,
There you go.
and I haven't met his wife before either.
Unique and fun.
Is he the only guy with a business, or the only person with a business who applied for this? In the downtown district?
Yes, Sister Nancy.
Yeah, but.
Well, as far as a new board member?
Or, yeah, as somebody applying, I mean, when we started this, it was supposed to be
I'm not familiar with
stakeholders.
some of these other applicants.
I was just curious, because it's something we should do.
Yeah, really?
That's kind of my thought.
Yeah.
He's the president of a new organization.
That's the BNI group.
Right, what is BNI?
So it's a international networking organization with
Okay.
very strict roles. So you're only allowed to have one member per industry. They
Okay.
meet every week and they track all their interaction with other members and how they refer business to one another.
Okay.
And all that's documented, and it's, $600-700 a year to join to be a member of it. And you have to be at all the meetings and stuff.
Wow.
And I know they kicked it off with 45, 50 members, something like that. I think they were meeting down at Riverman Brewery. The meetings are like at 7 in the morning, once a week or something. So it takes a good bit of dedication. I did it for, I want to say 3 years when I was at my old firm. And then my business kind of grew faster than the group did. So I just, the early meetings, but every week. All the things that I don't do anymore.
So yeah, Phil's had his business downtown for quite a while.
Yeah.
Moved around at
He
different
has.
locations.
He was in my spot before me.
Yes, he was in your spot.
He was up around the Wirely building
In the
area.
Wirely building,
Yeah.
and he was in Dick Cromish's building. It still is.
They still
down
there.
I think he's found a good place though for his business right now.
Yeah, that's a good fit. for
It is.
his-
It is.
If anybody wanted to grab something to eat, she's technically not due here for another 15 minutes. She can have
I'm gonna get some more tea.
That was Shelley's request. I got her brisket.
I was like, brisket? Yes.
So we have 5 positions on the Main Street Board. Several of them already on there.
3, so we put 2 new folks
Yeah.
on Main Street, Main Street.
And the Environmental Sustainability Board, how many are applying for that?
3.
And you got 3 applicants.
Everybody wants the Main Street Board, huh?
Looks that way.
David Welter, I know that name.
So John, when you fly out,
Saturday morning. That's why I gotta get, my daughter's gonna pick us up and take us to the airport. I gotta,
you fly on the 11:45 flight?
11:43.
That's when we fly on.
Yeah.
It's like 16:39 or something like that.
LaGuardia, yeah.
You fly out Saturday?
Yeah.
John, if you can't get anybody to take you, I'll take you over there.
Well, my daughter can take us over there.
But I mean, if something happens.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I get my daughter-in-law, or I can take an Uber, whatever.
You know what we do, we usually, if we go international, we usually take let somebody drop us off and then take a taxi back to the airport. It's like $20.
Yeah. In New York, it's a little hotter than that, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I remember when I took my grandson up, we flew up for an alumni board meeting when I was alumni board president. And we were staying in Knickerbocker Hotel.
Okay, that's an older hotel.
Yeah, it's an older hotel, yeah. And I took him ice skating at Walden Memorial over there at, Central Park.
Yeah, it's,
And he skated around the track, did great, man. Got his skates, first time he'd ever been on skates. And he hit a lump,
in Belmont, you have to
got
have
stitches in his eye.
a
I had to take him on a rickshaw. The calves were on the other side, he was bleeding like a stuck pig. So I got this guy, hey, how much you take you to the hospital over there?
Did they just tape it up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, they stitched it. They stitched it, yeah, they did, yeah.
He must have really knocked it open.
He cut it open pretty good, big gash in it.
You could have it,
And he still talks about that too. He rode with me at the game Friday night. He's in the band, He plays the different drums,
A hotel, and I think,
He's a
or
good
a
kid.
private club that.
He wants to go to
you can't
Western
just open a
Carolina.
straight bar. And that's why.
Tell me it doesn't snow up
The
there.
bike shop,
He likes snow.
He needs to go to.
yeah, they opened up as a private
Needs to go
club,
to
now they
Boone
have
and
food.
Appalachian
Yeah.
first.
So a certain amount of your receipts have to be.
Well, he thinks he'll get a scholarship to
So,
band at Western. So.
Which I guess I kind of struggle with, just because if a wine shop wanted to become a pure
Right,
wine
yeah, right,
shop
yeah.
where you can have on-site consumption, they have them in Charlotte all over. You
Yeah.
can't do it
Yeah.
unless you call yourself a private club.
Yeah, I was gonna let him help me broadcast the game Friday night.
I can understand why.
'Cause David
they set
Hodges
it up
got
that
sick.
way. I guess they were worried.
And we went all the way up
Story
there.
I got is they did that.
They wouldn't let us
because
in the
they were
press
worried about biker bars
Yeah.
at 74.
They not have room or
Wouldn't
just
let us-
don't they just don't do it?
Yeah,
So I
another
was like,
broadcast crew
okay,
coming in.
but,
They just did the same thing the last time.
So you had
Didn't
to
let
be
us get up
outside,
there. We had to go to the South Point side.
It's not.
Do the games on a cell phone.
but you weren't up high.
Well, friends.
No, well, we got out okay.
With all the.
It was in the crowd, so it was noisy, you know what I'm saying?
Beat that number, that's amazing.
My son-in-law kept howling and shouting, and my daughter too.
Yeah, yeah, but.
And it was raining and
Shocks
cold,
me.
I'm
I'll go
telling you,
by
it's so
there
cold.
at 2:00 in the afternoon,
God.
there's people
Now,
bellying
you
up
do
to
that
the
through a
bar, and they're
telephone
still
link?
there at
Huh?
5
You
or
do that
6
through a
at night,
telephone?
and I'm just like,
I did the game through my
wow.
cell phone, yeah, I called into the station, yeah.
And,
Because David had the radio equipment and I couldn't take it. It's a good thing I didn't have it because it would have rained on it.
looks like.
Yeah.
The Lord knows what he's doing, you know?
Ours always full.
I was like, wow.
That was a game I felt like we should have won.
Luna Ombre, I think they're doing a lot.
Turned it over 5 times in the first half, including once on the 1-yard line we fumbled.
Intelligent.
Terrible.
I hope they.
And then we shut him out in the second half.
They've had changed the food, I'm not I prefer the old chef, but I still.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, Chris is good.
I think I'll go get her.
Yeah.
Did you get by?
Caroline Shepherd is here.
No, we're good. We're good. The kids are just on their phones texting, so.
Yeah, that's right.
She took away a phone, as a matter of fact, at my house, so.
Yeah, so let me get them here.
How are y'all?
I'm fine. You doing okay, Carol?
Good, how are you?
I am. Hi, how are y'all?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good. Good to see you. I haven't been in here in a while. The last time I was packed in here, and I can't remember what it was about. So many people.
So it was controversial.
It was. It certainly was. There was a lot, maybe it was, historical, the downtown. That's what it was. When you're trying to figure all that out at the beginning, yeah.
Yeah,
That has turned out to be rather interesting, hasn't it?
yeah.
Adrian, we on air now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Yes, we're live streaming all of our meetings.
The only reason I asked, I wonder in the downtime if we're streaming.
Probably.
Hey,
I don't know.
how are
You'd have to
you?
turn it on.
Good, how are you?
Good.
You'd have to turn it on and off.
Have to put a switch in here with a light.
Yeah, it's only connected with this computer and heater, so you've got to physically go out there and do it.
I'm glad you're here early, Caroline. That's good. All right.
So Caroline's
Everybody here?
applying for the Main Street Advisory Board.
Okay, cool.
Tell us why you'd like to apply for the Main Street Advisory Board, Caroline.
Well, I grew up in Belmont. I've lived here most of my life and just seen it change throughout the years. And I love change. When I left to go to college, I went to Lenore Ryan College, and honestly, I was kind of ready to leave Belmont. And then I got married, and I had 2 babies at one time, and I was really fighting to get my husband to bring me back. So I think it's just a great place to raise children, you know, and I loved growing up here.
Yeah.
But it's even better now. So I live downtown, we live off of Todd Street, we walk everywhere.
Yeah.
We walk to the restaurants, I mean, y'all, it's great. And many of y'all have been here forever, but it is so nice to have all these restaurants down here, and, you know, you're just in
Great
close
place.
proximity. We've got nice stores, we've got great things.
Yeah.
And, I mean, even over the Thanksgiving holiday, my sister who lives in Atlanta was here. A friend of hers texted her to see where she should go to eat, easy off of 85 in Charlotte. And I was like, Charlotte? I'm sorry, we've got all these great restaurants right here